$1,999. That was the launch price of the NVIDIA Quadro EF-X 4800 back in 2008. Today, you can buy something like an ARTX 4060 for a fraction of that price, and it would absolutely destroy this thing in every game. And 18 years later, I finally got my hands on a Quadro FX 4800 to see just how powerful a high-end workstation GPU from that era really was. And what actually happens when you try to game on it and push it all the way to 1000 FPS in 2026. Yeah, 1000 FPS on a GPU from 2008. Let's see how far this thing can really go. But first, what even is this GPU? That's the question I asked myself when I first saw it on eBay not too long ago. The NVIDIA Quadro FX 4800 is actually quite similar to a GeForce GTX 280, just tuned for professional workloads instead of gaming. It comes with 1.5 gigabytes of VRAM, which sounds pretty ridiculous today, but back in 2008, that was actually a huge amount, considering high-end gaming GPUs like the GTX 280 only came with 1 gigabyte of VRAM. And that's really the key point here. GPUs like this weren't built to maximize FPS, but to deliver stability, accuracy, and the ability to handle heavy workloads like 3D rendering or CAD. In simple terms, this is something built for engineers and studios, not gamers. And luckily, I managed to find a few FX 4800 ESS on eBay at a price that honestly doesn't make any sense. Even though this was originally a $2,000 graphics card, somehow today I only paid around $20 for it. A price that's literally 100 times cheaper for an 18-year-old flagship that is suspiciously reasonable. What surprised me the most is that despite being nearly 20 years old, which means there's probably a 13% chance that it's older than some of you watching this video, this NVIDIA Quadro FX 4800 is still in amazing condition, and it looks strangely modern. The design reminds me a lot of those GTX 10 series Founders Edition cards, just a bit more boxy and industrial, but honestly, I don't mind that at all. Especially with the metallic silver finish, it looks really cool in a very understated way. No RGB, no flashiness, but still gives off that premium feel. It's like if you put this next to modern RGB GPUs, this thing would look like the boss of all of them. No need for flashy lights, just standing there is already intimidating enough. But the more you look at it, the more obvious it becomes that this is a product from a completely different era, where GPUs looked more like industrial equipment than gaming hardware. When it comes to connectivity, you can immediately tell this thing is from a very different time. It has DVI and even an SDI port, both of which scream ancient hardware, and are mostly found on older or specialized equipment. What's interesting though is that right next to them, you get 2 display ports, and somehow they still look surprisingly modern despite being almost 20 years old. On top, you still get an SLI connector, something NVIDIA once marketed as the future of gaming, but now it just feels more like a historical artifact than a real feature. And of course, you still have PCIe by 16, the main interface that's still used on every modern GPU today. One of the very few things on this card that hasn't been left behind by time. As for cooling, it's minimal to the point of being suspicious. There's only a single fan handling the entire card, and it looks way too small for something this size. Normally, I'd say size doesn't matter, but in this case, it probably does. I mean, just look at those tiny fan blades. It looks like it's trying to cool an entire GPU with pure hope. But none of that is the biggest problem here, because getting this old workstation GPU to not only run properly in a modern gaming system, but somehow survive being pushed all the way to 1000 FPS, that's where the real challenge begins. Alright, enough talking. Let's throw this thing into my PC. The test system here is an i5-12600K with 16 gigabytes of dual-channel RAM, which is complete overkill for an ancient GPU like the FX 4800. I powered the system on, waited nearly 2 full minutes, and eventually the display finally appeared. Thank God. Somehow this 18-year-old graphics card actually works with a modern PC. Alright, next step is installing drivers. I went over to NVIDIA's website and found the latest driver release for this GPU from 2016. Yeah, almost 10 years old. At this point, NVIDIA clearly abandoned this thing a very long time ago, but honestly, it's not like we have any other options. Alright, let's start with 3D Mark and see how powerful this GPU still is after 18 years. And yeah, we already have a problem. The FX 4800 only supports up to DirectX 10, so the benchmark literally refuses to run. Honestly, old hardware like this always finds a new way to waste your time. So instead I switched over to Heaven Benchmark, and thankfully this time it actually worked, although the GPU immediately climbed to nearly 80 degrees during the test. In the end, it scored 1020 points with an average FPS of around 40, and yeah, my concerns about that tiny cooler were apparently completely justified. But synthetic benchmarks don't really tell us much about real gaming performance, so let's move on to some actual games, starting with Tomb Raider 2013, a game that launched 5 years after this GPU originally came out, and one of the most demanding titles of its time. At 1080p on the normal preset, we were getting around 40 to 50 FPS. But the GPU temperature started climbing very quickly. It shot past 80 degrees in a pretty short amount of time. So I opened up MSI Afterburner and cranked the fan speed up a bit, which thankfully brought temperatures down slightly to around 75 degrees Celsius. Switching over to the high preset dropped performance to around 30 FPS. Technically still playable, but honestly the experience was pretty rough. And with temperatures already looking like this, I'm starting to think overclocking this thing might be a very bad idea. It's starting to look like hitting 1000 FPS in this game is completely impossible. Moving on to Fortnite. The game immediately throws an error saying it requires a DX11 compatible GPU, while this FX 4800 only supports up to DirectX 10. I tried a few ways to force Fortnite to run on a lower version, but it still wouldn't work. At this point, it honestly feels like Fortnite doesn't even want to acknowledge this GPU's existence anymore. So instead we move on to Minecraft, probably the last game left that still has some respect for ancient hardware. On the latest version, 26.1.2, running at 1080p with the fancy preset, only gave around 20 to 30 FPS. Absolutely terrible. I switched over to fast, lowered the render distance to 2 chunks, then dropped almost every setting as low as possible. FPS climbed to around 200. Better, but still very far away from the 1000 FPS goal. Alright, opening MSI Afterburner and overclocking the GPU a little more. FPS started getting close to 300, but clearly we're asking way too much from an 18-year-old GPU. So I made the final sacrifice. Image quality. I dropped the resolution all the way down to 640 by 480. And everything suddenly looked like a 2009 YouTube video stretched across the entire screen. But finally, FPS climbed up to 800. Honestly, nobody would want to play at a resolution this bad, but we were getting really close. At this point, it was obvious the modern version of Minecraft was simply too heavy for this ancient GPU, so I decided to go back in time with an older version, Minecraft 1.8.9. And immediately, things started changing. At 1080p on the fancy preset, we were already getting over 200 FPS. Dropping it down to fast with 2 chunks pushed performance past 600 FPS. lowering everything to the absolute minimum, and finally we crossed over 900 FPS. At this point, I honestly didn't care what happened to this GPU anymore. Even if it literally caught fire, it only cost $20. I would literally do all of this just to see 1000 FPS on the screen, so I pushed the overclock even further, hoping that tiny little fan still hadn't given up yet. Back in the game, the FPS counter kept jumping between 800 900. Then suddenly 4 digits appeared. 1000 FPS. We actually did it. The GPU temperature had now gone past 80 degrees, and the fan sounded like a jet engine preparing for takeoff. But honestly, hitting 1000 FPS on an 18-year-old GPU is probably the perfect ending for something like this. So yeah. Somehow, an 18-year-old Workstation GPU actually hit 1000 FPS in 2026. Not because it was practical or even a good idea, but because old hardware experiments like this are just way too fun. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.